Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So for this video I wanted to do my first entry in my Artist in Bloom journal, and usually the first entry of all of my journals is like an introduction. So I make like a card or something, usually it's a library card like I'm doing here, that I kind of just write down when I started the journal. I started doing this with my unraveling journal. So there's a card in the front pocket that is just, it probably has like a quote or something on it, and then it has the date in which I began the journal, because I think it might be really interesting to see how long it takes me to fill up that journal, so that's why I did it for that one. But I figured I'd do it for this one as well, because I'm hoping to fill this up by the ending of September so that in October I can have a new journal, but we'll see. So that is what I'm working on here. I'm working on the library card that is going to be tucked into that ribbon there, so it kind of covers up the blank background, and to be quite honest, I'm not going to decorate the background because the card is going to be there. But yeah, so this library card, I just printed out my digital library card onto some cream paper, and so that's what it is. And I just did a little cluster on the bottom with some old book pages and some scrapbooking paper, and then I am working on a tab on the top using some of that pink embossed paper that you see on the right hand page on the bottom there. And I initially kind of used my little stapler, my little Heidi Swapp stapler, to staple the tab onto the top, but you'll see later on that I end up taking the staples off and using some glue because I just didn't, well, one, the tab was a little too long, and so I shortened it, and yeah, I don't know why I just took off the staples. But you can see here that I'm trying to cover them up, or I'm just trying to place down some of these word phrase stickers. These are my soul saying stickers that you can find in my shop. I eventually put down that little birdcage sticker from my Graceful Garden sticker sheet, and you can see here now that I am peeling off that tab and making it a little bit shorter, and I end up gluing it this time. And I do cover up the top with some sheet music and then a sticker on top. But yeah, so for my journals, for the start of my journals, I really like to create not only like a card that tells me when I started it, and then once I finish it, I'll go back and add the date of when I completed it. I think a lot of journalers do that, but I also like creating an introduction page. I don't know what it is, all of my journals have some sort of introduction page, like even my art journals, like they all have some sort of intro page, and the intro page for me just kind of introduces the journal, or like I guess the purpose of the journal for me. I mean, I don't see anybody reading my journals, like maybe in the future when someone stumbles upon it and I'm no longer here, they might read them, but they're just for me to sort of process the purpose of me keeping this journal. And I tend to do that all the time for all of my journals, and it's an interesting glimpse of where I am currently and like what I want to, I guess, accomplish, if it's like a themed journal like for my Get Messy journals, or if it's like a personal journal like this, just sort of where I am in the moment and what I would like to, I guess, accomplish within myself, because most of my journals are more of like personal, introspective sort of things. I don't tend to really journal about like, oh, I did this today or I did that today. I don't journal like that. I tend to journal about things that I think about that either I'm struggling with or that I've experienced. So it's more of that sort of journaling that I do when I keep my personal journals that aren't art journals, because art journals are just, usually I have a theme, because I usually follow the Get Messy seasons, and they all have a theme to explore. So those are just my thoughts on the particular theme. But like personal journals are more of the thoughts that I have on an everyday basis, not so much like, oh, I did this today. Sometimes I'll have like, I did this today, and then I go into like what I thought about that, or if something, I thought of something or something like that. But yeah, so I tend to always write some sort of introduction that sort of introduces the journal to me and what I would like the purpose of this journal to be. If I'm struggling with something, I would really like to kind of, I guess, overcome it in this journal, or figure out a way to change something if I can change it. And so that's really important to me, to have that sort of introduction to my journal. It's sort of like, when you do a December daily, and Ali Edwards always says to do like the purpose, or the reason why you're keeping the December daily. That's sort of what I do with my journals. I always have a purpose for them. I always want to document a reason why I am starting it and why I'm keeping it. So that is what I end up journaling on this tag. So this tag is one of my printables from the Graceful Garden kit. And I think the little phrase on the front says, "Cultivate the garden within," which I think is very fitting. And all I do is I just kind of collage some music paper, sheet music on the back, and some of this like grid paper, just so I have a place to write and so that it's not all like white on the back. And that is what I'm journaling here. I'm journaling about beginnings and starting my journal, and really trying to fill them up and not abandon them. And yeah, so that is this very quick journal with me. I really hope you all enjoy. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye!